Have you ever looked at someone and thought, how did they get so wealthy? It feels like they were just destined for it, right? Well, here's the secret. It's not about working harder, not at all. It's about having the right blueprint in your mind before you even lay the first brick. And today, we're going to uncover that blueprint together.
Okay, so think about this for a second, because it's a puzzle that's always fascinated me. You've got two people, right? Same skills, same education. They're putting in the exact same hours. But one of them is just scraping by, and the other one, they're building an absolute empire. How is that even possible? It proves that hard work just isn't the whole story. There's got to be something else going on. And that missing piece, it's not luck. And it's definitely not about grinding even harder. Millionaire CEO Dan Martell puts it perfectly. He says hard work is just the engine, but what good is a powerful engine if you don't have a plan, a blueprint? Without it, you're just making a ton of noise, generating a lot of heat, but you're not actually going anywhere. That mental blueprint, that's the invisible thing that changes the entire game. So, you're probably wondering, where do you even get a blueprint like that? Well, believe it or not, it comes from a book written way back in 1937. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I know what you're thinking, 1937? That sounds a little outdated. But hold on. Dan Martell, the modern $100 million CEO we just talked about, he says this is the most important book you will ever read. I mean, he literally gives it to every young person in his life. Now that gets your attention, doesn't it? All right, so what's the first step here? Well, think about it like this. Before you build a massive skyscraper, you can't just start stacking floors. You have to clear the land first. And for most of us, that land, our mental landscape, is just full of junk. It's cluttered with a broken money mindset that we probably never even knew we had. I want you to really think back for a second. What did you hear about money when you were a kid? Things like, money doesn't grow on trees, or, ugh, we can't afford that. These sound like innocent little phrases, but they're not. They're code. They are literally subconscious programs that are still running your entire financial life today, and they're sabotaging you before you even get started. And this is why Think and Grow Rich is so incredibly important. See, it's not a book you just read. It's a tool. It's more like a reprogramming manual. It's designed to help you demolish that old, broken-down foundation so you can finally build something real, something that actually lasts. Okay, so the old foundation is gone. Where do we start building the new one? The very first cornerstone of this new blueprint is desire. And hey, I'm not talking about just a casual wish like, oh, it'd be nice to have more money. No, no. We are talking about something way, way more intense. And look, this distinction, it's everything. A wish, that's passive. It's like sitting around hoping for rain. But a burning desire, that's active. That's you going out and building a whole irrigation system. It's the massive shift from saying, gosh, it would be nice if, to a totally non-negotiable, all-consuming, I will have this. That is the fuel for your engine. And here is the absolute secret key that unlocks this whole thing. Get this. Your subconscious mind, it has no idea what the difference is between a $100 goal and a $100 million goal. Seriously, the mental programming, the actual mechanism for achieving it, it's exactly the same. It takes the same amount of mental energy to aim small as it does to aim huge. So my question for you is, why are you aiming small? Okay, let's make this real right now. I want you to actually grab a pen. No, I'm serious. Pause this if you have to. Now, I want you to answer this one question. If you absolutely knew you could not fail, what is the one single impossible thing you would go for? Go ahead, write it down. That goal right there, that feeling you get thinking about it, that is the seed of the burning desire we need to grow. All right, so you've got the desire, you've defined your what. The big question now is, how do we actually install that goal into your mind's operating system? This next part, this is the how. So, Napoleon Hill had a name for this technique. He called it autosuggestion. I know, it sounds a little clinical, maybe a bit weird, but really, it's super simple. All it means is that you are deliberately feeding your subconscious mind a consistent diet of these definite, powerful, affirmative statements over and over and over until it has no choice but to accept them as reality. You are, quite literally, programming your own brain. There's this great analogy for this. Your mind is like a garden. And if you do nothing, if you just leave it alone, you don't get a nice empty plot of land. Oh no, what you get is weeds. Weeds of doubt, weeds of fear, weeds of insecurity. They just grow automatically. So autosuggestion is just you
Acting as the gardener, deciding, nope, I'm planting seeds of success here, and then doing it intentionally. So let's turn this from just an idea into a real action. I've got a challenge for you. It's a 7-day challenge. I want you to take that impossible goal that you wrote down, and every single morning for the next week, find a quiet place, read that statement out loud. And here's the most important part. Speak it as if it's already happening. Not I will be, but I am. You have to feel it. Because what you're doing is installing brand new software into your brain.
Okay, so you've started programming your mind. Now what? What comes next? Well, this is where we connect that powerful internal mindset shift to real-world, tangible action. This is the final, and honestly, the most critical piece of the whole puzzle.
And this slide, this really puts everything into perspective. You might wonder why a book from 1937 is still the starting point for so many people. It's because it builds the one thing that everything else rests on: belief. I mean, think about it. Without that deep-seated, unshakable belief that you can actually achieve your goal, all those amazing systems from a book like Atomic Habits, they're not going to stick. All the great strategies from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, they're just theories on a page. Belief. It absolutely has to come first. So after all this, what's the one thing you really need to remember? It's Dan Martell's final piece of advice, and it's so simple. Default to doing something. That's it. The next time you feel stuck or confused or overwhelmed, don't just sit there and overthink it. Don't go read another book. Just do something. Take one tiny step forward, because action is what creates clarity. So let's put that into practice right now. Here's your first action, your very first chance to default to doing. Don't just listen to me talk and then move on with your day. I want you to find a copy of Think and Grow Rich. I don't care if it's online, at the library, an audiobook, whatever works for you, and just read the very first chapter tonight. That's it. That is your first step. So I'm going to leave you with this final question. Remember that goal you wrote down, that impossible dream? What is it? I want you to tell me. What is the one big dream that you are going to commit to programming into your subconscious mind starting this week? Go ahead and drop it in the comments below. You know, making it public like